Hello everyone, welcome to the first video in the 5-video series on bivariate probability. So this is the first video, as I said, that is the first part. In this video we are going to cover just the basics of bivariate probability. So let us go on. Now let us consider an experiment. This is an experiment which you must have come across many times till now. So what we are going to do is we are going to toss 3 coins simultaneously. That is, the experiment is of tossing 3 coins at a time. So let us find out what the sample space is going to be. So you have 3 coins which a person is tossing at a time. So every coin can give you 2 outcomes. It can be either a head or a tail. So this particular diagram will show you how you can branch out the outcomes and how you can arrive at the sample space. So if you list out the sample space elaborately, it consists of these 8 possible outcomes. Now remember that H denotes heads, T denotes tails. Now if you recollect, you have already learned this previously. A sample space is nothing but the collection of all the possible outcomes that you can get out of an experiment. So you have 3 coins being tossed at a time. So the outcomes that you can have are as listed on your screen. You can have all 3 heads, you can have 2 heads and 1 tail, head, tail, head, and so on. So HHH, for example, denotes that you have got heads on all the 3 coins. HHT stands for heads on first coin, heads on second coin, tails on third coin, and so on and so forth. So after you have the sample space with you, on this sample space, let us define a particular random variable x. Now keep in mind that till now we are still in the univariate case, so this is sort of a revision of what you have already learned. So let us define the random variable x as the number of heads that you observe. Alright, so H is standing for heads, T is standing for tails. You have 3 coins that you have tossed. So the minimum number of heads that you can have is 0. This happens when all the 3 coins will give you tails. You have all 3 tails, which clearly implies there are no heads, therefore x is 0. And the maximum possible value that x can take is 3. That will happen when you have heads on all the 3 coins that are tossed. Alright, so you have 3 coins, so you can have heads once, twice, 3 times, or never. Alright, so now let us get on to the concept of probability mass function of x. We are still in the univariate case. So this is a sample space that we have kept handy. Alright, we are noting the PMF or the probability mass function of the number of heads on all the 3 tosses. So what we will do is, or rather what I have done is, I have marked all the heads by red color so that it will be easy for us to identify, right? So as you can see in this colored sample space, the TTT option stands for x equal to 0. That means there is no H. So the values of x can be 0, 1, 2 or 3. Now what is meant by a PMF? It is just a list of possible values of x along with the corresponding probability values. So if we check for x equal to 0, that is no heads observed, this particular outcome is occurring only once. So the probability for that will be 1, that is the number of occurrences, divided by the total number of points in your sample space. So the probability will be 1 by 8. Now if you come to x equal to 1, that is when you are going to have only one head, if you notice in the sample space, there are 3 times this particular case occurs. You can have HTT, you can have THT, and you can have TTH. So the number of possible outcomes are 3 divided by the total number of points 8. So the probability is 3 by 8. Similarly, you can find probabilities for x equal to 2 and x equal to 3. So this particular table is going to give you the probability mass function of x, which is defined as number of heads on all the 3 tosses. So this is just the univariate case like we have studied earlier also. So now let us proceed. Now in addition to x, let me introduce one more variable. Let us call it as y. Now if you remember, x was number of heads on all the 3 tosses. Let me define y as number of heads in only the first 2 tosses. Okay, so you are going to consider y for only the first two coins. We are going to leave the third coin. So the possible values of y now will be 0, 1 and 2. 0 will happen when both the coins that are tossed do not give you a single head. Y equal to 2 will be observed when both the coins give you heads. So in your sample space, going by whatever definition of y we have written, we are going to consider only the first two letters now, denoting the first two coins. So notice the color coding that has been done here. When you have HH and HH in the first 2 points, y takes value 2. Alright. Next you have HTH, HTT and so on. We are considering only the first two letters. So in the next 4 options, if you observe, there is H only once in the first two letters. So these combinations indicate y equal to 1. The last two cases stand for y equal to 0. Alright, so now like we did for x, I have tabulated the probability mass function for y. Again you have the sample space ready for reference with you. So y equal to 0, this case is observed twice. So the probability is 2 by 8. Y equal to 1 is observed 4 times. So the probability is 4 by 8. And for y equal to 2, again you have the probability as 2 by 8. So this is the probability distribution of y. Okay, so we have considered x, we have considered y. Now what we will do is, we will be considering x and y simultaneously. So when you consider two variables together, it is the beginning of a bivariate probability distribution. Okay, so let us recollect. X is the number of heads observed. Now in x we are going to consider all the 3 coins. Y is the number of heads observed only on the first 2 coins. So when we speak about a bivariate random variable, like we have discussed this in the case of linear regression, we will be denoting this variable by x comma y written in round brackets. So whenever you see this kind of a notation x comma y, it always means it is a bivariate random variable. So now x can take values 0, 1, 2, 3 as usual. Y can take values 0, 1 and 2. So we need to find out how many pairs of x and y we can find and what they are. Alright. So there are total possible pairs of x and y that we have. So they can be 0, 0, that is x equal to 0, y equal to 0, x equal to 0, y equal to 1 and so on. So you can formulate 12 such pairs. So now in a bivariate probability distribution, what happens is we need to find out the probabilities of each of these 12 pairs. Every such probability is called a joint probability. So let us see how to get on with this. Alright, so now in this particular table, what we have done is, I have again kept the sample space ready for you. So if you observe the sample space carefully, let us go step by step, okay? So let us focus on the last 2 points, that is when y is equal to 0. Y is the number of heads in the first 2 tosses only. So when you have T, T and H, y is equal to 0. And how many heads do you have in all? You have just 1 head. Okay, so that pair becomes x equal to 1, y equal to 0. How many times are you observing this pair? Can you see 1, 0 anywhere else? 1, 0 is occurring only once. So in the table that is written above, x equal to 0 and x equal to 1 and y equal to 0, the number written in the color purple, the probability is given by 1 by 8. Similarly, for the last point, when you have t, x is also 0, y is also equal to 0. So the probability is given by 1 by 8. Now let us come to the middle section. You have y is equal to 1. In this particular case, there are 4 options that you have. In HTH, x is equal to 2 because you have 2 heads in all and y is equal to 1. Similarly, in THH, again x equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. So the corresponding probability will be 2 because you have 2 occurrences divided by 8. You can verify in this table, x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. The corresponding probability is given by 2 by 8. Alright. So basically what we are doing in a bivariate distribution is that we are counting the number of pairs that we are observing. Correspondingly, we are writing the probabilities in the table. Now if you observe carefully, the totals that you have, the row totals and the column totals, are nothing but the univariate distributions that we did in this video previously. So you have y equal to 0, 1, 2 and the total column 2 by 8, 4 by 8 and 2 by 8. This is the PMF of y. Again, the column totals that you have represent the PMF of x. So in this case, what we have done is, you have the regular univariate PMFs and we have split them up into pairwise probabilities, which are called joint probabilities. So how do you find out whether this distribution is valid or not? If you remember, there are two conditions that a probability distribution must satisfy for it to be valid. The first is that every probability should be non-negative and less than 1. That is, the least value that a probability can take is 0 and the maximum value is equal to 1. And the second condition is that all the probabilities, if you add them up, you should get the answer 1. Okay, for a second, let us just revisit what we've done earlier. I just wanted to clarify this to you. Now observe this pair x equal to 2 and y equal to 0. In this particular case, why is the probability 0? Because when you are saying that in the 3 tosses you already have 2 heads, then y can never take a value 0. So whenever you have a combination which is not possible, corresponding probabilities automatically will become 0. So what you need to do is list down all the probabilities that you can. The rest of the probabilities automatically will become 0 for this probability distribution to get completed. Okay, so let us go back to where we were. Now in this particular table, there are two conditions that must hold as we discussed. So if you check all these conditions, both of them are satisfied for this table. So the additions of all the probabilities, if you check 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 plus 2 by 8 and so on, the total of all these values is equal to 1. There is no negative number here. There is no number which is greater than 1. All the totals are equal to 1. It means this is a valid probability distribution. So I guess all of you must be clear with the concept, at least the concept as of now. What we are doing is we are considering two variables at a time. So let us get on to an activity. This is fairly simple. I think all of you should give it a try. You will definitely be able to do this. We are again considering the same experiment of tossing 3 coins simultaneously. Now what we will do is, let x be defined as number of heads observed and y be defined as number of tails observed. So number of heads observed, we have already seen it can take values 0, 1, 2 and 3. Similarly, number of tails observed can also take values 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now like we have done in this case, I want all of you to give it a try to find the bivariate probability distribution of x and y. You can consider x as a column or a row, the choice is upon you. I want all of you to try and obtain the table of joint probabilities. X and y both will be taking values 0, 1, 2 and 3. So this video just covered the basics of how to arrive at a bivariate probability distribution. Now in the next case, in the next video, we will see how to find marginal distributions, conditional distributions and so on. Thank you.